Hello and welcome to another jam-packed edition of Nigeria Diaspora Television. I am Adetunji Omotola.
And I'm Chinakai Wunze. Yes, it's great to be with you again as we come to you from Johannesburg, South Africa, where we are gearing up for an icy start to winter.
Yes, they are predicting snow on the Lesotho Mountains for the weekend. But something I'm sure will warm their hearts is the good news of the release of 82 of the young Chibok girls who were abducted by Boko Haram in April 2014.
Yeah, the girls were taken from an unspecified location and then taken to Banki by the Red Cross, and from there to Maiduguri, where they entered some military helicopters and taken to Abuja.
Absolutely. They were received, to show you the high-profile nature of their release, they were actually received by the Chief of Staff to the President, who then escorted them to the presidential palace known as Aso Rock. And the president met with them, and obviously he delayed his flight to London because he was meant to go for another medical treatment, and I'm sure he would have given them all the assurances that they would be well taken care of.
I am very pleased to have personally met you, and I assure you that the presidency will personally supervise the performance of those trusted with social welfare commitments made by the federal government.
What baffles me is how I hear that the girls are currently in a secret location in Abuja, and apparently the 21 girls who were released in October 2016 have still not been able to go home.
Well, it's always tough. We've heard that some of the girls have been stigmatized as Boko Haram brides, and of course they were captured in a village, and I suspect that from a psychological viewpoint that might not be the best place for them to go back to. And people have been talking about a neutral place where they can easily get rehabilitated and they don't have to go back to the trauma of the night of the capture. Because as you will imagine, if they were to stay in Chibok, I'm sure at some point the whole trauma of how they were abducted will come back to haunt them.
Last October.
Each and every one of our 113 girls now in captivity have to be accounted for, and that's so the struggle continues. But for today, we are so happy that we have gotten 82. So in total, we have 106 that have been rescued, and we continue making demands for them until each and every one of them is brought back home.
Why were they abducted in the first place?
Well, look, you know that Boko Haram, their signature, in fact, what Boko Haram means is Boko means book, yes, and Haram means forbidden. So Western education is forbidden. So to have girls in the northern part of the country, which they seek to Islamize and apply the strictest form of Sharia, to have those girls studying Western education, in the first place, they were already violating what Boko Haram stood for. And so they had been kidnapping girls before, but this one was the biggest single transaction. And that was why there was so much outrage, because of the number. So they are an organization that really doesn't want anyone actually to go to school, but more so girls. They probably believe that they belong to the other room.
The kidnapping of the girls sparked widespread reactions, spearheaded by former federal minister Obi Eze-Kwesili and other Nigerians with large Twitter following. The campaign soon sparked international interest with the hashtag #BringBackOurGirls campaign, with the handle being used more than 1 million times in just 3 weeks. Michelle Obama also lent some weight to the campaign.
Like millions of people across the globe, my husband and I are outraged and heartbroken over the kidnapping of more than 200 Nigerian girls from their school dormitory in the middle of the night. This unconscionable act was committed by a terrorist group determined to keep these girls from getting an education. Grown men attempting to snuff out the aspirations of young girls.
Other high-profile people and celebrities ensured that the girls remained top of mind across the world. We took to the Jersey streets to find out what the general public thought of the news of the girls' release.
I'm happy, understand, because those girls, they are from families, some families. And those girls, they didn't know anything that's happening now. They are little girls.
It's a relief to those people's families, but then it took time for them to go back home, but then at least they did, unlike the ones that are still held by those people.
We have to readjust back into society and back into family. So yes, I'm happy for them, but it's going to be a traumatic blend back into the family blend and community.
Yeah, I feel happy now. Maybe more and more people will leave their time goes on.
Yes, because my sense is that this is a very great time for Africa, because with the release of the 82 girls, we now have over 100 girls released. And we are very happy that we're getting almost to the closure of this very painful chapter that began 3 years ago.
And I hope that the nightmare will soon be over, seeing that there's still over 100 girls in captivity. So here I am rooting for the government to keep up the good work. This past week, a debate around diaspora voting was held in Johannesburg, attended by most of the organizations representing Nigerians. NDTV was there.
We have a constitutional democracy in Nigeria, an elected government. We have 3 organs of government: the legislature, the executive, and the judiciary. And the legislature is probably the organ of government that will concern us with regards to the issue that we're sitting here today to deliberate upon.
Nigerians who are in Nigeria during the time of registration and who are up to the age of 18 years can vote in any election. But we are disenfranchised by this definition because we are not resident in Nigeria. According to the Constitution, we are disenfranchised.
The economic wealth or economic health of a country is normally determined or assessed by the quantum of their gross domestic product, GDP. And this means, translates into the value of goods and services produced in that country plus the value of goods and services produced their nationals outside.
Registration. When Nigeria gets its election wrong, starting from the process of registration. The process of registration, once is staggered in some cases. In some countries, in some part of the countries, accessibility to the electorate is one logistic problem. There are areas that are not penetrable. There are areas INEC officials cannot reach.
We were unable to register. The first time, the machine they were using was 40. The God generator was 40. For a whole week. Sometimes you get there, you don't see these people there. I think it's a matter of preparation and training of electoral officials. We need to be serious.
We should be able to rise above the fears, the logistic problems, and know that as we, the diasporans, we belong to diaspora organizations, our elections here are transparent, they are free, they are credible. We can teach those at home actually how to conduct credible, free and fair election.
We should not be scared about the logistics. I wanted to make sure we understand, first of all, it's a right. And just like our coordinator said, even if we don't get it in 2019, 2023, could be 2027, but the process could start now. One of the things people use and have used to scare us, in 2012, we did organize a diaspora conference here where we had the chairperson of IEC South Africa come to explain to us. And we've engaged extensively in these issues, and we know the bottlenecks and the difficulties.
It's a worthy exercise. I just wish that we can keep this up and follow it up after this, because one thing in the whole of Africa, in actual fact, is people talk a lot and do less.
This week, Nigerian Diaspora Television visited the offices of JC Decaux in Bryanston, Johannesburg, and we had the opportunity to interview the CEO Sub-Saharan Africa, Mark Cooper. Mark, given Africa's size of over 1 billion people, and you have about 39,000 sites currently, and also the fact that your business in Europe is a mature business, how do you plan to double or at least triple your Africa business?
You know, the key emphasis for JCDecaux is that we're here for the long term. So we're not like a private equity company that would look to come in, you know, increase its profits quickly and then flip the business. So we're here to invest significantly in each of the markets. We're an international business, but that's based on local businesses. So we're here to grow local teams, to recruit local talent, to help them grow and develop with JCDecaux's expertise and experience to help them. Also to give them opportunities to experience working outside of Africa as well in our other markets. But you have to be patient in Africa. And I think, you know, we have to work hard to understand the nuances of each of the markets that we're in and that we want to be in.
What is your unique value proposition as you go into the rest of Africa?
So the company was started in 1964 by the founder Jean-Claude Decaux, and you know, he's an entrepreneurial innovator, and his first project was to provide bus shelters to a city at no cost to the city. You know, in exchange for having advertising on the bus shelters themselves. So, you know, it's reducing street clutter by combining high quality advertising in a high quality structure. And he said, we need to deliver this service to one standard at no cost. So we do the design, we do the manufacturing, we do the installation, and we do the ongoing maintenance for the length of the contract at our cost. There is no cost to the city. The project also generates lots of jobs, so it's a jobs of high skills. It's not just your basic employment level. So we're creating electricians, we're creating digital technicians. Yes, we have cleaning. Yes, we have posting people, stores people, inspectors, supervisors, health and safety, quality control. So we have the whole remit of operational workforce to work on the project and on the product for a long time.
Okay. On the lighter side, what's your favorite Nigerian food?
Very much like the chicken and rice. So for me, rice? I'm not sure what the name is. So Jollof. Okay. So I very much like that. I have to say, impressed with all of the people I've met across Africa. Nigeria is no exception. The people are incredibly friendly, incredibly positive and optimistic. When you when you look at the trials and tribulations that they've been through, you have to admire that.
In this country, what we did, the money spent for South Africa's liberation. The frontline countries didn't have money.
Yes.
Yet, it's true, they took more risk.
Absorbing
Zambia, Zimbabwe, Mozambique, and so on and so on. Yes. They, you know, during Lesotho and all this, they stood more risk because of closeness. But they didn't have money. They didn't have a political clout to do anything. It is we. Obasanjo had to send BP packing, British Petroleum, for learning that they passed, because we said we banned our petroleum to South Africa. BP passed petroleum to South Africa. We sent British Petroleum out of Nigeria. Obasanjo's government.
And then you forgot the Southern Africa Relief Fund.
Oh, really? Oh. People were, school children were contributing money. They had to contribute money.
They were chasing from school.
Money that
money.
Yes.
Mandela money.
Money that is sent here. After all, Mandela was in Ikoyi. If Mandela hadn't come back, he wouldn't have been arrested. Mandela was in Nigeria. Mbazulika Bechi is still alive. He even made a statement 2 days ago talking about the bail condition posed on Nnamdi Kanu. You know, he had been released. Yes. The Biafra guy that was released. So this Mbazulika Mechi, we were together in Parliament. He made a statement about the bail condition imposed. This very Mbazulika Mechi was the person dictator to stay with Mandela in Ikoyi before Mandela then returned to South Africa. If he hadn't returned, the CIA wouldn't have gave him out to the South African police.
That was under Balewa.
The South African, Tafawa Balewa.
what advice would you give skilled Nigerians and other African nationals who are in hostile environments where they can't get work?
Yeah. Okay. Let me take skilled Nigeria because you have said other African nationals. Let me go to Nigeria.
Yes, sir.
First, you said the environment in which they are is hostile, so they cannot operate there. I'm assuming they can't operate there. So I can't tell them you stay there when you cannot operate. I will tell them that the only option open to you, because out of two evils, you choose the lesser one, that the only option open to you is come home. First, you have said the economy meltdown is globally anyway. It may well be that the effect is more in some countries than in others. But one thing in common is that there is a global meltdown. Maybe in country A is more serious than in country B. Now, that being the fact, I would say, since where you are is hostile and you can't operate, and in fact you are at the risk of your life, because if you die, question of operating doesn't arise anymore, I would say come home.
By the way, I just have to say that you're looking very Afro-sharp.
Thank you very
today.
much. Yeah, it's African Month. We're showcasing our culture. We have
You're
to do that.
representing.
We're Nigerians, right?
Yes, we are.
So, and you're also looking great. Your hair is looking very nice.
Well, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you. And so soon it's time to say goodbye.
And from all of us here at Nigeria Diaspora Television,
Odabo.
Kashifa
Segobe.
Segobe.